Bemidji was really good. We got to face it. Bemidji was really good. They came in with a really good game plan. I thought they irritated people that they needed to irritate and got people off their game and made us uncomfortable. And that's part of the maturing process, is us learning how to overcome. I mean, really overcome adversity, right? And we had a couple players that I thought were really consistent and really sharp through the weekend. But for the most part, it was a lot of trying to find ourselves. And one by one, we got a little bit better. But without the power play, probably both games would have been very similar in score. So, but we were successful in the power play, and we were able to bring it to overtime. Our power play was outstanding. My hats off to them. 5-on-5, I thought we were very average in a lot of ways, and that's due to Bemidji. Let's be honest with that. They came in with an attitude and a purpose and executed their will. And they have to be very proud of their group. Yeah, absolutely. If you saw some of the hits he took and the sticks he took, and now, he's got to show more resiliency, and he's got to know that he's going to draw attention. I mean, that's just part of it. And it gets frustrating for an offensive player, to go through what he goes through, But he's going to have to play through it because it's not going to change. When you're really good, you draw attention. Wayne Gretzky drew attention. You know what I mean? I'm not comparing the two, but good players are going to draw attention. You have to be able to play through that. Well, power play. He got to the net in a power play, and that's really what we have to get better at, fighting for ice. Our power play is good. We can make plays with time and space. We've felt, and we've said all along, we feel we have good talent, and we have talent that can grow, and we're a young team, but that talent also has to play 5-on-5. You know what I mean? Like I said, without 4 for 4 on the power play Saturday, the score probably looks a lot like Friday's score did. 5-2 or 5-3 late or something like that. So I thought our guys did a really good job, but that's where you have time and space, right? In the power play, you have kind of a plan what you want to do, and you need to find that. All the players, now we're proud of what he did for sure, but all the players need to find that 5-on-5 play, and that when the ice is harder, when you're fighting for every inch, you have to be willing to fight for every inch and compete on that in those areas. And and I think after weeks off, that's our biggest thing, is that we, by nature, we don't probably, hard skill is not, and I say this all the time, but but I haven't in the last couple of years because we've been better at it, but hard skill is not natural to some people. And even when you force it out of them, when you take that foot off the gas, like on an off weekend or something like that, we all go back to who we are, and being comfortable is what most people like. Only highly competitive people like to compete all the time and really get their. I know when I was a kid, I was a terrible loser. Like when I was little, and I'd play board games and stuff with my family. I mean, I'm the one that a couple times tipped the board over or got them left until I figured out I'm never going to be invited to play again if I don't get myself under control a little bit. So that a competitive nature is kind of ingrained to some degree. And that's always I've found to be the hardest thing to bring out in an individual. You can work on other things easier, but that's kind of when you're getting into the, their I don't know, DNA or whatever. So that's a hard thing. That's a really hard thing. So you're really trying to look for the most naturally competitive people that you can find, because they make everything better. Like I'll give you an example. Every time the going gets tough for us, who would you say, a question to you, who would you say that always gets the kudos after a game because they were the one who best emulated, had the most success and things like that?
To me, it's the Kukkonen, Raymond, Nordy, those guys.
Yeah, exactly. And Nordy had 5 scoring chances on Saturday night. His line mates had 1 each, which was good, but Nordy had 5. So blocked a shot, made a really good break in the neutral zone to get a goal. 5 scoring chances. We put a letter on him this week. Because when the going gets tough, who are the people who not just show up, but who perform? And part of performing is playing within the confines of your of how you're supposed to play to be effective, and he always does it. He's a leader in our group. And I compare it, Ray Brace was the leader in our group. So we put a letter on him for the remainder of his senior year. He'll wear a letter for us. He's earned it. And he's a guy, when the times are tough and we aren't playing well, when he keeps showing up as, okay, here's Nordy here doing this, here's Nordy here doing this, here's Nordy here doing this, you know, it really sends a message to the group. So thrilling. And he just barely missed. He had a breakaway prior to that and went blocker side. And then on the second one, went glove side. He's a tremendous young man. I mean, as all of our guys are. But you know, there's just something innate about some individuals that you know. First of all, he's had to work for everything he's gotten at the collegiate level. He's had to work for everything he's gotten, and that's within his DNA. And so when you need him, it's locked in. You know, they talk about hunting dogs. They say that Weimaraners and Chesapeake Bay Retrievers, those are really stubborn dogs, they say, to train for hunting. And I love to hunt. I love bird dogs. They're really stubborn, but when they get it, like they fight it, but when they get it, they don't make mistakes. Like they'll do their job all the time. And that's Nordy. Like he does his job all the time. He's going through the pains of learning, and he does his job all the time. We were awful in front of him. We were awful. I didn't take him out because he gave up bad goals. I took him out because it was a good opportunity to get Derek more ice time, to see where he's at the stage. Ryan had played maybe 4 straight or something like that, maybe 5 straight. Started in 5 straight. So I wanted to get Mully back in there, and you know, I think he played a period maybe on Friday or something like that, and a couple periods on Saturday. So he got a game in on the weekend. Virtually, so that was more why I did. We were awful in front of Ryan, so I don't, you know, like Friday night he gave us a chance. He stopped breakaways, he stopped 2-on-1, he stopped this, and then you saw what happened. Pucks off the end boards where they beat us to pucks, and not only that, but they make a pass, you know, with 4 guys, 4 guys back. So I thought our goaltending was fine. First of all, we don't know a whole lot about them. We saw them so early last year. I mean, they were a few weeks in when we saw them last year here. So they're 2 years into their program now, and they're probably older than we are. I'd say probably it's be a very safe bet to say they're, with the transfer portal and stuff, they're an older team than we are, a more experienced team. They have good goaltending. We know that they compete hard. We know that they have they have some players up front that can score, and we know that they have a really good supporting cast around that. So. Good hockey team. They're obviously well coached, and looking forward. I haven't spent a ton of time on the video yet. We're still getting stuff broke down from that. We've spent a little bit of time, but it'll be like any other weekend. They're any team in our league. If you look at it, like Bemidji was in the last playoff seed coming in. I mean, who doesn't think they can win playoffs? Seriously, they lost 3 really good players from the team last year that won our league going away. 3 good players, Polkamp and the Luft, the defenseman, and Rode, who signed with San Jose. Everybody else, they got the rest of their beef back. And so we saw that this weekend. So, we've seen Ferris, and we're going to see them again. They're a good team. There isn't a team in our league that can't win the playoffs, so including Augustana. So it's, we're going to get a feel for them. We're going to be a one-team. It looks like we're going to be a one-team league again with the winner of the playoffs advancing. So, we'll get a feel for what Augustana has this weekend, and if we match up with them in the playoffs, try to get a feel for what we have to do going forward.